live, and we're telling people. Ah, this is going to be interesting. It's my first firing live in a firing country. What? Mr. L, you're the first one here? What? Right now. Hey, Slim. Hey, Mr. Truth No Lies. You leaving me?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll see you in the morning. Well, I might not see you in the morning.
You will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, guys.
What's happening?
Can you hear me okay?
Just fine. I can hear that other voice in the background too.
Hear what's happening with my voice?
And not yours.
Oh, his?
Was that it?
Listen, don't raise no eyebrows. There will be no discussion tonight. No matter.
Slim, my God. I saw your mouth moving, Slim, but I don't know if I don't think I heard anything coming out. I don't know if you muted or
We got Val coming in. Slim, is your volume on? Mr. L, I love that you're giving me like full on light. It
got
makes me
you.
very happy. There's no traipsing in darkness. There's no
No
crickets in the
crickets in the
background. What,
background.
Val?
What's going
It's the
on,
cold
beautiful
season, you
people?
know. What's happening,
Stop
bro?
McGee, a day of royalty. Slim, you did that? My guy, I know you want to be fancy. Take the headphones off. We can't hear you. We love you same way, whether the audio is good or not. Just come. Don't be fancy. We can't hear you.
Is this better?
That's a lot better.
Yes.
Okay.
Gentlemen, good evening. Listen to me. It's 2:00 in the morning where I am.
Dedication.
You made it. You made
I
it.
made it.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Oh my goodness me, to everybody filtering in to the live. This is Three Guys and a Girl. I'm AJ, one of the 4 hosts of Three Guys and a Girl. And of course, we have our gentlemen who are going to tell you who they are and all the bits and pieces about them. And then I'll tell you why it's 2:00 in the morning where I am for those of you who don't know. So, Slim.
Yes, I am Slim Stay Scheming, formerly known as Slim the Savage, now known as the Genuine Slim. I'm representing 973 Bob out of New Jersey. Please check us out, like I said, on all streaming platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Apple Music, wherever you can find a platform. Go follow 973 Vibes. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Next up,
Right. What's
the
going
man with the
on,
flags on the
everyone?
plane.
For the play. Oh man. Good evening, everyone. Morning, evening, wherever you guys are. Again, my name is Val. Dating for Generation Y and Z, Millennials and Gen Z. What I aim to do is to help you guys cultivate the healthy dating and relationship lives that we all deserve. I also do sessions as well. So if you're interested in sessions, interested in asking about sessions, finding some information, DM me. I answer to all DMs. People that are in here already know. Answer to everything. So feel free, and thank you for coming in.
And last but certainly not least, the man in the red with the red cup drinks.
What's going on, everybody? I am Mr. L, the host of From the Modern Mr. L podcast, where we discuss sex, kinks, life, everyday thing. Honestly, nothing is off the table when it comes to the podcast. But yes, I am the compassionate Dom, the sensual sadist, the southern gent with a sprinkle of filth, Mr. L.
I love that we all do that and you just did. It's a beautiful thing. So, for those of you who know and those of you who don't, I am currently in the UK. I am in London, England, which is why it is 2:00 in the morning where I am. But because of my love and commitment and dedication, who's up making cookies? A student for She Food? Please don't talk about cookies. Oh, is Mr. L making cookies?
I'm not baking any tonight.
I was going to say, we were going to have a conversation about Mr. L and his cookies, but we're going to leave that alone for another day because he makes special cookies.
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
special ingredients and special icing. I'll just
I
say that
was I was
and
so
leave the rest
oblivious to
alone.
his post. I was just like, oh, he's making
I
cookies.
I
Okay,
know we're going.
I'm interested.
No,
Not no
Val.
more.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
no more.
lost. I'm lost.
These are not man friendly cookies. Let's just say that. Unless you like those
Exactly.
type of cookies, if you're a heterosexual man, they're not hetero man cookies.
Not the
Red
flag,
flag
yeah.
on the plate.
Not the flag. I know we're not going to touch on it, but I'm so surprised that one, a lot of people didn't guess because I put up the option for people to guess, and only one person guessed the secret ingredient. Um, Secondly, I'm surprised at all the reactions where people are just like, so
I'm good. I don't know what the fuck y'all
it was a fun
talking
experience.
about.
Hey, it's fine. Hey, listen, man. It's for a select taste buds.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I want to have a conversation with you, like maybe not now, later, but just how the blending process goes because
We'll take care of that later.
okay,
We'll
okay.
take care of that later.
So I have a lineup of questions to ask, but in having a conversation with my friend who I'm staying with, I have a different question to start off the conversation
Okay.
because I don't know, like I just feel like it's neither here or there, but he informed me otherwise. So to put to the three of you, does getting compliments change the scope of your day? Does it change the way that you feel about yourself? Like if you're having a not such a fantastic day and someone pays you a compliment, does it change your vibe and your energy? Do compliments matter to men?
I
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Um,
they definitely do. I think they definitely matter to me. I got a compliment last Friday from another man in the liquor store, and I felt okay about it. Like I
Yeah.
even
yeah.
picked up my day a little bit. I was going out
Okay.
for the evening, and I thought I just had a regular outfit, just a regular like fitted thermal. Had my um, cap on and some jeans and some sneakers, but I was leaving the liquor store and he was like, "Yo, man, you know every man, no homo, but yo, man, you look like you ain't coming to fuck around, like you ain't coming to play tonight. You look, you better go fuck some shit up." And I looked at him and I was looking at me and I was like, "Well, thank you, appreciate it. That's the funny. You know what I mean?"
Okay.
Like, so, but it did pick my day up. I ain't going front. I drove, a little more chipper.
Put a little pep in your step,
It
okay?
pep my step, yo. You know what
All
I mean?
right.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, it definitely picks up my day. Like sometimes I could be out in the streets. Like if I'm making a run real quick to the store, grocery store, trying to get some stuff. Like I put on some sweats, I put on a black tee, depending on the weather is, and I'm out. I don't care how I look, you know. But then you just have somebody that's just like, oh, you look really nice today. The first thing I think, because I learned to like stop and think first. I'm like, in this, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But no, I'm like, nah, stop. I'm like, they took the time to give you a compliment. They didn't have to say shit to you at all. They took
Yes.
the time, gave you a compliment. Thank you very much. I'll walk away and be like, oh, well, I look like shit, but I'm glad that that's what they see. It puts
Right.
a, it's a, I mean, it makes you chip. It makes your day a little chip. I gotta use Slim's word, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling, especially when you feel like you look like shit and somebody says that you look great. Great
Yeah.
feeling.
When it's not your
Right.
intention, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like,
Exactly.
I mean, like,
So,
but it's late today.
Val, I have a separate question for you. A
Mm.
day of royalty lets you leave the house in sweatpants? That's
Yeah.
like that's like man lingerie. That's like whore wear. She lets you go outside looking like a
What?
whore?
I didn't know
What?
that. I didn't know
She,
that.
excuse me, I got you, Val. Excuse me. She lets my brother go out comfortable.
Okay.
Boom.
That's what she
Boom.
does.
All
She
Appreciate
lets
you,
him
right.
go
Mr.
out
L.
comfortably. Okay? The only ones who think that way are the women who are looking and expecting for something. We don't put those on. We put those on because we
Ooh.
are comfortable.
Word.
Okay?
I
Ooh.
get
In the
attention.
business, come
Yeah.
on, come on. Hey, Slim. So, what we do is we want to be relaxed and comfortable. I know, in our lines of work, sometimes we don't wear the most comfortable clothes.
Right.
So, when we're able to go out and run errands, we would like some freedom, some air, the
Freedom
ability
to let the
to
thing
let it
dangle and
hang
swing
and
type of freedom?
swing. My boy needs to get, yes, yes. What do you think helps, when we're in the bedroom and you know, he's all stretched out because we wore our sweatpants for the day, and
He's
he's got a nice little
all
stretch when we walk.
stressed out.
Yes, when the hanging and swinging is going on,
So you
it's
need to
getting
give
him
him a little
stretching.
space to kind of like free up himself.
Exactly, air. You don't gotta
Okay.
just yes.
It is what it
Anyway,
is.
we're gonna leave that alone. So, Mr. L, compliments. Does it do for you? Is it neither here or there?
I definitely love and appreciate compliments, whether it's from man or woman. I'm glad that Slim brought that up, for example, because I think that is something major, especially in the black community, amongst men, is like, yo, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you complimenting another man.
Absolutely.
Um, you know, I can be like, yo, my man's, yo, you looking dapper. You know, I can compliment you and it not be a sexual
Yeah.
aspect of me trying
Yeah.
to get at you. And unfortunately, not all men think that way. If you compliment them, then they like, oh, yo, you trying to get at me. Like, nah, man, yo, you either look nice or you smell good or your haircut, yo, trying to
Yeah.
get like you. That's like, you know, one of those compliments in the community where you're just like, yo, look at my guy. I'll try to be like you when I grow up. That's a compliment, you
Right.
know, in most cases. Um, Depending on how hard of a day it is, it definitely, I wouldn't say it would change the whole day sometimes, but it definitely brings you that spot of like happiness or something. Just like somebody's acknowledging you and just
Okay.
like, yo, you know, you look good. So even in the case that it doesn't change your whole day around, it still matters and it still helps. But there are times where you can't get complimented. You just like some you be feeling yourself after that, just like, oh shit, you know, I might
Right.
walk a little different. Might
Yeah.
lean the chair back in the car, you know, put the one
Tell
hand
them
on the
my Diddy
steering
Bop.
wheel. It's
Diddy
like,
Bop in that car. Yeah.
um, but yes, I love getting compliments because I'm a very humble guy. I like to think, and so you know, I may sometimes be tough on myself about certain things, and so when I get that compliment, it's very reassuring. Like, oh wow, you know, even if I'm not you know, thinking that I look this way or feeling this way, somebody else is acknowledging it, and they believe that I do.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate all of you answering. I just wanted to get an additional perspective on that. So what we're going to be jumping in today is a series of questions, all related to relationships and marriage. So right off the top, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you guys as men of this newer generation, and in thinking about maybe like your parents or your grandparents and the generations that came before us, do you think that people should live together first before settling down into a long-term relationship or before getting married? Do you think that that matters in this day and age?
Yes,
I,
absolutely.
Okay. Val?
I think so because not a lot of people like to follow old school rules anymore. They want to be able to live with the individual so they can get to see the different aspects of them. But
Mm,
more so right now though, like what I see, especially with Gen Z, and I'm not coming at anybody. I'm just saying what I see is that
yes.
they're living with each other because first it's easy access. Number two, they can get it whenever they want, you know, and they're not as focused on those very important relationship questions that should be asked, you know. Those tend to come after, like after you guys are so attached. Like for example, you want to understand somebody's financial situation. You're living with
Mm,
them. Why not ask about that? You know, as opposed to asking like all these other questions that have nothing to do with like the real important questions, you know.
right.
Um, I think that people rush into trying to live together. They don't give a lot of time, you know, to live together. I honestly believe that you should um you should see their living space. Absolutely. See their living space and how they live and how clean they are and not clean, you know, but to just jump into it and just try to live with the person within like let's say 6 months. I'm not capping on anybody because sometimes it could
Right.
work.
Right.
But most times if you're looking through like research the way that I do, it doesn't work, especially if you're not being intentional about those hard-hitting questions that you need to know in the first place.
Okay, so let me ask an additional question specifically to Valium with what you're saying. Do you think that a person would put on a front when you come? Okay, so like to see me and live with me is different than just to see me or come spend a weekend with me here or there or a day here or there, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that people will put on a front of who they are because you're not living with them and they know that you're just so like if you're not a clean person, but you know I'm coming over for the weekend, you're gonna clean and make sure that everything is, you know what I mean? There's no pee on the toilet seat is down, there's no pee on the floor in the corners. You understand? Your drawers are picked up from underneath the couch. I'm not gonna like push my hand in the couch and find, you know, the 2-week-old food and there's nothing rotten in your fridge and stuff. So people will take care to like clean up and do the kind of things that they need to do to present a good front so that you think that they're a particular type of way.
Yep.
So how do you navigate or get around seeing what the person wants to show you, their representative, like Kings what Kiki said, and I know Slim always says that. How do you get around seeing their representative versus knowing who the true them is if it comes to a point where you guys are going to live together? Because say a year has passed, now you're living together, there's pee on the toilet seat, there's pee in the corner of the floor, there's drawers everywhere, he drops his clothes at the front, you know, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that it's just a man thing, it could be a woman too. She may pee all over the toilet seat, she may leave her, you know, makeup in the sink, her things or whatever it is. How do you get past seeing what the representative is to know what the true person is? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
That makes sense.
Okay.
What I noticed is that the first thing that comes to mind is consistency. So if you're consistently seeing this individual, like going to their house, things of that nature, you're going to notice things that, okay, first time you go over, yeah, most likely it's going to be clean, especially if they care about what you think of, if they care about what you think about their space,
Right.
you know. But as time goes on, you know, you're going to start to notice different things. Like, for example, I'll put myself out there. There was a girl that I was dating, and you know, when I first started going over her house, everything was clean, spotless. I'm like, oh, wow, this is how you live? They're like, yeah, this is what it is. You know, okay. You know, a year goes by, you know, I start seeing drawers everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, you know, maybe you're just having a bad day. You know what I mean? Like not
Right.
seeing the flags kind of thing. You know, but then as time went on, like you start seeing how they actually really are. You know what I mean? So I would say, honestly, time. I would mention, let's say you guys are out on a date, for example, right? You guys are on a date. You're supposed to be dropping them home or, I don't know, something. But then the idea comes up that you want to go over their house. Boom. Okay. That's perfect because now they had no chance to prepare. So now
Right.
you'll be able to go in and see how it is, you know. Granted, some people like to clean up before they go out. You know what I mean?
Just in case.
Others, just in case, you know. But then there's others that are just like, yo, let me just put this on. All right, we out. You know, and everything's
Right.
just the way that it is. Another way too, and it's like, I don't understand why people are afraid to ask about hygiene.
Right.
Like, do you make your bed in the morning? Like, do you have drawers all over the floor sometimes? You know, things of that nature. Because I know people do it because of a whole bunch of reasons. You're in a rush.
Right.
You know, you had no time to do it. You're gonna think about doing it later, whatever it is. You know, but a lot of people like to lie about it. You know, and put on the front, like the representative, like Slim said, like King said.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing too. Just why don't people ask these questions? Number one, so ask the questions. And then, like I said, the consistency. Over time, you're going to be able to see how somebody's living conditions, their hygiene actually is, because they can't put up that front for that long.
Forever. Right. Sure. Okay. Who's got next? Should people live together before settling down into long-term relationships and or marriage?
Me personally, I think they should, only because and I didn't always believe this, but I just, you know, like you said, because of representative purposes, I do feel like you need that little bit of time to assess and acknowledge, you know, people's behaviors through consistency over
Right.
time. You know what I mean? That could be maybe, you know, even if it's over a 30-day period, I would expect it to be every day over a 30-day period. Or if it's over 6 months, maybe, you know, every so many weeks. But I just feel like you have to make an assessment and, you know, especially before you get married. You know what I mean? Living together is one thing. You are, you know, depending on how you construct the contract and everything and names on leases, you know, you're kind of tied in. But once you get married, it's a whole nother animal. And I've even heard stories of people, you know, before they get married, all the way up until they are married, the person in a relationship, man or woman, may act one way, but as soon as they get married, they turn to a completely different person. So I'm starting to realize, or feel at least, that it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, there's no really set time. It's really hard to tell because people are full of shit, and certain people change, and certain people
Yes.
go up and down, and things are like waves. So it all really depends. But I do feel like you need to really assess somebody. And like last, I ask serious questions. You know what I'm saying? I think a real important question that people don't ask significant others, especially in the beginning, is how do you cope with stress? I think it's a very important question outside of like hygiene and shit like that. I mean, how
Right.
do you cope with stress, especially if you have plans on truly cohabitating and eventually progressing to marriage? Because they're going to be stressful times, regardless, whether it's work stress, marital stress, family stress, whatever the fuck it is, it's gonna be stress, and you need to be
Right.
able to handle that appropriately. You know what I'm saying, and healthy, healthy wise. So I do think it's important to at least spend a significant amount of time with somebody before you guys marry, and really move in so you guys know each other's behaviors.
Okay. Mr. L, do you think that people should live together before they get married or settle into a long-term relationship? Because not everybody wants to get married, but some people want
Right.
to just be in a long-term relationship.
Mhm.
Do you think that people should live together for a period of time first to assess whether or not that's something that's good for them?
I don't think it's necessary. Like if they do it, cool. I'm not knocking it or anything like that, but I
Mhm.
just don't think that it's necessary, something that has to be done. Because even say like Slim was saying, there is no time frame. People lie all the time. So
Right.
it's like, okay, maybe they can hold their lie out for 2 weeks, or maybe they can hold it out for a year, and eventually you'll see it. But after that year, you've already spent 6 months living with them, 6 months married to them,
Mhm.
and now you're starting to see, okay, this is how they are. That's why I don't think that is absolutely necessary, but it is very important to spend a lot of time with your person and to ask those questions, because then you'll at least get a feel for, all right, I think this is what they're like, I think that they keep their house this way, or when they're at home they act this way, whatever.
Right.
Um, and I'm a firm believer in not really spending like a weekend. I know, and just if I'm mapping it out in my head, in a perfect world or ideal world, when I have my shorty and things have been going great, and we're at the point where we're talking about marriage, she has a key to my place. Like that's going to be a big thing. You have the key. If I'm thinking about marrying you or we're engaged, here's the key. So she has permission to go over there pretty much any time that she would like to.
Okay.
Um, but even then, in that case, I'm a person also who sometimes I just like my space. And so until like, we tied the knot, I was just like, let's just still keep our spaces. Um, because I'm one of those people who like, sometimes in some instances, yeah, I might just be that tired that day and I'm just, everything's off on the floor. I'm in bed, at the shower, whatever. But there are, to me, there are like certain non-negotiables. So I can deal with some of the clothes. If there's, you leave a pair of drawers on the floor here, then okay. You know, Now if they've been on the floor for like 3 days and starting to stink a little bit, then I have an issue. Um,
Red
if I
flag.
go over there and I notice, your tub ain't clean, the toilet ain't clean,
Right.
the kitchen still got, dishes in it with food in it or something. Now, I understand if you miss a night of washing dishes, might have been tired, whatever it is. Understand that. Now, if you text me and be like, yeah, babe, I was eating some lasagna for dinner, and then I come over 3 days later and that lasagna pan's still over there on the stove,
Yeah.
that's like that's a red flag. Um, so I have my non-negotiables, of course, but like, yeah, the making up the bed thing, as they said in the chat, I love getting a fresh made bed. It just hits differently. But I ain't stressing it if you didn't make your bed. Who's looking? Is you and I, or is you?
Right.
Who's look like? I'm sorry. Is there a bed making council or some shit that is like you have to make your bed? Like
But for some people, that's a make or break. Like
it is.
my friend Lawrence won't date a woman that doesn't make her bed. Like he just,
Oh,
and he has like the woman that is for him, she has to make her bed every day.
mhm. Well, baby,
I don't know. Me personally, I make my bed
babe,
4 out of 7 days, maybe.
and that's the thing. You might jump up and you either in a rush or
Yeah, I
something
gotta
is
go.
like life happens. You know,
Life
shit
Yeah.
happens.
happens, and you always can't abide by those circumstances, situations, rules, whatever. And so, yeah, that's why I have my non-negotiables when it comes to like, all right, things that I'm going to pay attention to.
Kings with Kiki's having a full-on heart attack in the chat. She's like, "Yeah, I can't be with somebody that doesn't make their bed." She's like, "No,
Yeah.
that's an absolute."
Like, yo, you get out of work and you come back in your room and your bed is all fucked up. It has me on
But
just
see,
like,
Really?
how
yeah,
fucked up is
it
the
gives me
bed though?
agita. Yeah, it gives me agita.
So with me, if anything, my sheets are
Wow.
just gonna be pulled back. And that's
Right.
cool. It's not like the sheets are everywhere. I got
Yeah.
a comforter over here on the floor and the sheet over here. It's
Right.
come off the mattress. You know, like nah, if anything, it's just pull back halfway.
Pulled up.
Whatever I pulled back when I got out of the bed, that's how it is when I get back.
I,
And it's
Right.
easy access where I can just jump back in that motherfucker and pull it right back up.
I got you.
So, what for
It's not
each
like
of you?
messy.
It like not to disclose like too much of your business, but you know. So, for each of you, what is a habit or a thing for that the other person does that would be like, you know what? Nah, like everything about you is great, but I can't see myself living with this for the rest of my life. What would be an absolute no? Or is there an absolute no?
It's a good question.
I mean,
Okay, so while you're
shorty, you
thinking, I'll
cooking
say,
crack in your show. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. I'll give you time to think. So I always thought for myself, like, so I'm an insomnia. I have chronic insomnia and I don't stay in the bed. So I'll go to sleep with you, but at some point I'm getting up and leaving the bed to go to the living room to watch TV. And at some point I eventually fall asleep in there. Anyhow, so for me, it's like snoring. Snoring is like I can't manage. Because I'm not a snorer. So when I have to lay beside somebody who snores, chances of me I will hang out with you, I'll fall asleep with you, but the second you start snoring, Bridget, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm out. Like I can't.
jeez.
I got two things. I mean,
I don't know why
we
Slim is not.
obvious
Slim,
we
you snore, don't you?
Oh yeah, especially when
Oh,
I'm tired. I got sleep apnea.
I would try to smother you. I'm just saying, I love you, but like big and serious, I would try to smother you.
Listen,
this
I
nigga
try
And
to
you'd be
gonna
tell
like,
die.
I try to tell every
Hmm.
shooter, listen, if I start snoring, if I'm tired, I'm going to snore. If I'm on my back watching TV, which I am most of the time, I'm going to snore because my position medically. However, if that happens, just throw me over and just be like, "Hey, babe, you're snoring. I'll reposition."
man, I would push your shit off the
Hey,
bed to
Slim,
roll you over. I'd roll
Slim,
you off the damn bed.
imagine
Sorry.
waking up and you in heaven. Niggas looking at you like, hey, bro, how'd you get here? I don't know. Then somebody be like,
I
yo, I
don't
saw that
know,
shit.
man.
He was snoring.
Yo.
And she killed him.
Any motherfucking
You
see
go
Like
to sleep on
you
the
ever
couch and
you
wake
ever
up in
see
the
those old
clouds.
school you ever see those old school cartoons where the character's snoring and everything's moving in the room because they're drying it? That's what I think of when I hear them type of snoring then.
yeah.
Before you kill me, let's have a conversation about it and see what things can be done. You know, the little whatever. You know, before you kill me. But I did think of two things. One, if you are a fighter in your sleep, I'm gonna put you off the bed. If you
Okay.
move around too much, I mean, I know I move around a little bit in my sleep, but like if you are constantly just
Yeah.
uh, uh, out the bed, and then this one, somewhat, if you're like an avid sleepwalker, maybe,
Oh.
because that shit gonna scare the fuck out of me. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah.
you. I like to
Yeah.
sleep in the dark, everything lights off. So if you know you are walking around, I open my eyes.
Val's like, hell no.
You know, yeah, no, this scared the hell out of me. Because then I'm gonna end up either like throwing something at you or just I don't know. And especially if I'm like half asleep, mm-mm, it's not gonna be safe for anybody.
Okay.
I think I got mine.
What's your Slim? What's a nah, I can't see myself doing that for the rest of my life.
All right, so for me, if you let's say we go out to like drink or party or whatever, and you can't handle yourself, you can't handle yourself
Mm,
accordingly, or
mm,
you turn to a different person, or
mm.
I mean, whatever the case may be. Like, you know what I mean, when you drink, then that's a red flag for me, heavy. And since we're on the sleeping topic, if I'm sleeping and like you sleep diagonal, I used to have a short. She would sleep diagonal, so we would start like parallel to one another. But somewhere in the night, she would end up like this or like diagonal going this way. So I would literally wake up in the middle of the night and
You're
just
like,
take one
Turner.
arm, just whoof, and like, you know what I'm saying, just to straighten her back out, so I can have at least a half of the bed because I'm sleeping on like 30% of the bed because yeah, all over the place. So I think that
I'm guilty of that one.
So I have a question. Do y'all have any? Oh, I'm sorry, Val. Do you have your thing?
Val, what's yours?
Mine, honestly, so I had one, but then it kind of went out the window because it's like, I don't know, there's something wrong with me. I can get used to a lot of things. So, for
Okay.
example, I thought that I was not able to deal with somebody who slept with their eyes open, but this one over here does sometimes. And I'm just
We're hanging up. Conversation's
like,
done right now.
that shit
but it's like
fucked me up.
it's not like wide open. It's like
A
this
little bit.
sometimes.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like
You know,
she's peeping at you.
yeah,
legit. So I'm just
that's
like,
even worse.
but I can
So
deal with it.
my
I don't
grandfather
know.
prepared me for that because like that man always slept with his eyes open. Like it'd be halfway or just like a little bit. Yes, my grandfather was that way
Nope.
Mm,
Absolutely not.
because like
mm.
I would try and like think about sneaking and doing something, but I couldn't tell if he was asleep or if he was awake, and so I wouldn't even risk it. I was just like, fuck it, you know what?
Like
Couple
one day,
times I'll
legit,
take a
he might just
chance.
look at you, like be like, I see what you're
Oh
doing.
yeah, absolutely not.
You know, I ain't sleep right, boy. Like,
Legit.
All of a sudden he's like,
um,
boy, where are you going?
Boom.
so
Can you
I
imagine?
know that you
No
said
problem.
so, AJ. I know you said you're an insomniac. Was it?
Yeah, I have chronic insomnia.
All right, so I pose this to all of you. Do you all have an issue with like your partner going to bed without you? Or are you good with that? Because I know some people
Yeah.
want them to go to bed with them. Some people don't. Like I know my parents, my dad, he would try his best to stay up, you know, until my mom is ready to go to bed sometimes. And sometimes he's like, well, yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
I got work in the morning or something. So like, do y'all see it as an issue? I guess not every night, but like more times out of not, your partner is going to bed without you.
I mean, I don't see an issue as long as we have a discussion because I have no problem going to sleep with my partner. So let's say like I'm ready to go to bed, you know what I'm saying? And like she's not, and I know she's not. Let's say she watches something she really want to watch or something. I'll just fall asleep on her lap or on a couch right here, and you know, wake me up when you're
Aww.
ready. Whenever you're ready, just wake me up. Then I ain't gonna leave you. I'm not gonna leave your side, but I'm gonna go to
That's
sleep.
very cute.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what I would do, but I'm not gonna. But I don't take offense to it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, I'm work. I'm about to go work overnight right now and work in the morning. So I'd be tired. Like, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
I never stay in the bed. Like my thing is I generally go to bed first. So like around 10 o'clock, I'm gone to bed. By 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm up.
Yeah.
And then I'm up till 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And I feel bad laying there because then I'm restless. You know what I mean? He likes total darkness. I want to watch TV. So I'm watching stuff on my phone. He sees the light. It wakes him up. I feel bad. So I'm like, the only way around that is to get up and go to the living room. But then he's like, okay, well, don't stay in the living room too long. Come back at some point. But I'm like, if I'm awake, what am I going to do? It creates a whole problem all over again. So now I'm back in the bed. I'm on my tablet watching a movie. The light disturbs him. It wakes him up. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
I tell people up front, if I'm dating you, I let people know up front. I have chronic insomnia. I can stay in the bed, but trust me, you're going to get annoyed because then I'm going to want to talk to you because I'm up. So you can have me for a couple of hours or you can not sleep.
Yeah.
See, I guess I have a little bit lucky because the light doesn't bother her,
Mm.
and the TV doesn't bother her at all either.
Oh, that's lovely.
Well, maybe sometimes it does, but like oftentimes, like the majority of the time, it doesn't bother her at all. Because I'm like you, I don't have chronic insomnia, but I do think I am an insomniac because I can't sleep until it's like 3, 4 in the morning. Like my
Yeah.
mind's running. Like the content that I make for my page, that comes from between the hours of 1 and 4 in the morning. I don't know. That's when my
Ooh.
creativity is going.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just happy that it doesn't bother her. You know, I can take my walk, like I said. I can watch TV, all that good stuff. Plus, she got to sleep first because if I sleep first, she ain't sleeping because I'm snoring. So I do my
A
best.
day
I
of
bought some
royalty.
strips. I don't know.
She loves you. She's not going to smother you. See, I would think about smothering you, but she loves you. She's not going to smother you. She'll deal with it. She'll go to bed before you. She'll deal with it.
So Val, what time do you wake up for work?
Well, I start at 9. I wake up
Oh,
at
so
8:55.
yeah, you work all right. Because I'm just trying to figure out, like, I was just asking because you don't sound like you get your proper amount of sleep cycles in. You know.
So that
Ah,
that was me as well. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, lately, like the past couple weeks, working shit been kicking my ass. So I haven't
Yeah.
seen like 11 o'clock except for maybe one night this week. But like myself, I'm usually up for work 5:30 in the morning. I could go to sleep 1 or 2 o'clock and then turn around and get up at 5:30. Now, 4 o'clock and then turn around. Nah, that's different. That's a
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, because I'm
But
just
it's
saying.
weird. Like I can literally go to sleep at 5 o'clock and be up by 6:30, no problem. So it's a weird.
Do you nap
Anyway,
during the?
yeah, it's weird. It's been like that for years. So I've just kind of gotten used to it.
Do you nap during the
But
day, AJ?
mm,
Do
do
you
you
nap
nap?
during the day?
I do. I have to.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
yeah, most
because
of
of
So you
my
getting it in there?
lifestyle or I have the ability to take a nap in the middle of the day. And even when I worked in corporate, even when I worked in social work, because I my schedule always afforded me the ability to be able to leave my job and go take a nap for an hour to an hour and a half. Yeah, it's always yeah. I know Val's face is like, bitch, what kind of job did you do? No,
I need that job, damn it. What the hell?
nah,
Let
that's
me
like my
nap.
job. Like my job
yeah.
now. I got the
So
ability.
it's been good that way. I'm telling you know what, honestly, and we're totally straying off topic and we're gonna get back to it, but I feel like if workplaces were able to write into the job description that you could take a 45-minute power nap or even an hour, it would be
Sign me
so
up.
beneficial. It would be
Sign me
beneficial to
up.
people. It's like real
Not
talk.
during my lunch break.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like so you still get your lunch, but you also get an additional hour to just kind of decompress and collect yourself, whether it
Real.
is you take a nap, whatever it is.
Beautiful.
So that's why like places like in South America, they've got like a 3 hour window where it's like a siesta. So in that 3 hours, you get to have your lunch and then you get to have a nap and then you come back to work. And people are so much more productive. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
anyhow,
I worked at a bakery for a little bit. Just quick
yeah.
second. I worked at a bakery for a little bit, and I was the baker there, so I had to get there early in the morning. And I knew in my mind nobody else is getting in for another hour and a half. So like some of these nights that I would be up to 2 o'clock, but then turn around and have to be there at 6. You know, that flour over there on that shelf was looking kind of comfortable. You know, boy, go over there, stretch out, and I get that nice little power nap in for about 40 minutes
Yeah.
until all well clocked in. So I was getting paid in that, low key. But yeah, I
But it
agree.
refreshes you and you feel like,
It
okay, you know
did.
what? I can
I was
tackle the
good.
rest of the day and I can deal with whatever comes at me. Like I'm good now. My brain has had a break. My body has had a break. I'm good. Like you feel rejuvenated. So I like that. So there's a question that was submitted, and I'm going to read it in first person. It's not me, but it's the person. So my friend believes that if a man wants, so this is a totally heterosexual question. My friend believes that if a man wants to get married to her, he has to be able to afford at least a minimum 1 carat diamond ring. And if he can't afford that, according to her, then he can't afford to get married. She
How much?
says 1 carat minimum, 1 carat diamond ring. And if he can't afford at least a minimum 1 carat ring, he shouldn't be considering getting married to anybody. She personally thinks that it's idiotic, but she wanted to know what our thoughts are on this particular subject. Does the size of the ring really matter? Does the size of the diamond really matter?
Absolutely not. It doesn't. Now to her, maybe cool if that's her thing and she finds a man, fine. But no, for everybody else, absolutely not.
Okay.
I actually just talked about it in one of my previous episodes where there's a couple I know and they got married. They had like some Batman type of rings. It wasn't even diamond. They didn't care for the diamonds. You
Right.
know, diamonds don't equate my love for you or the amount of money that I may have, or maybe I just don't want to put that money into that ring. I want to put it into something else or this. Now, of course, I'm going to try and come as close to, if not spot on, with the ring that my wife would want, just because, sucker for love, simp ass nigga when it comes to my woman, I'll try my best to do it, but that should not equate to whether or not I should be getting married. Now, her thought process, I'm going to assume, is like, well, if you can't afford this, then you don't have the monetary, things to be able to get married because,
Right.
this costs this amount. Now, if we're coming together, the bills gonna be paid, this, that, and the other is gonna happen. That's the only possible reasoning I can think of why she would think that way. But even then, I still think that for anybody else, like I said, it's her life. She lived the way that she was. But for anybody else, no, it's stupid.
Val, your face is killing me. Val's like, what? Come, Val.
Every time I try to work on my faces, I don't
It's
know.
not working.
Just give up.
Do you think that if a man can't afford a healthy sized diamond ring for his intended, that he should kind of sit back and wait until he can? Is that a reflection of him and his ability to take care of his family and provide for her?
No and no, honestly. So my thing is, the first thing I thought when you asked the question was, okay, so Miss who wrote in this question, we appreciate the question, obviously. Thank you very much. I So you're gonna potentially miss out on your blessing because this individual can't get you a ring.
Preach.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he can do all these different things that you may have had on that list. We all have some type of list, that check box, he checks all these different boxes, but you're going to leave that one, which is the 1 carat ring. He doesn't have it. You're just like, no, well, we can't get married. Miss out on your blessings. Let him walk away and let him go make some other woman happy. Don't let that be the bar to if you guys should be getting married, especially when there's a whole bunch of other aspects that you need to be thinking about, which is more important, way more important, astronomically more important than the size of a ring.
Okay.
Don't equate materialistic things to
Yes.
love and
I'm
relationships.
with him on that, Val, because I'm not a materialistic person at all. Like, I love nice things, who don't, shiny things, especially things that appreciate with value. However, it's like Val said, like Mr. L said, it should not be a testament of my love. Some people just got different priorities, you know what I'm saying? And my thing is like, listen, we could work our way up to that. You know what I mean? I've been in situations before where I started out with a smaller stone, and as time progressed, I swapped the stone out, and as we grew, the stone grew. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
That's my motto personally. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I can't hit it spot how you want it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also a firm believer. My father told me, too much too soon. You know what I'm saying? Because you limit your growth at that point. For instance, at 18, I was going to get a BMW because what do I work for after that? I'm going to go to Maserati or some crazy shit like a Lamborghini. This is my point. I slow stones to grow over time with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that should be. I'm not going to say that it's ignorant to me. But if that's her bar and what she want, I know I'm not the nigga for her though. That's what I know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We not getting married.
Yeah, we ain't. You ain't gotta worry about that like at all.
What is the value and the importance of the diamond? What is the value and the importance of the size of the ring? So the rock that's in the ring. Does it affect? Okay, hold on. Does it affect? Can it affect? Do you think what her opinion is of how much you value her by the size of the diamond? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
I understand what you're saying, and possibly I could see that if I have the discretionary funds for that, and I know that's what she wants, but I'm kind of saying like fuck her and putting myself and buying me some new Jordans or some Yeezys or just investing that money in just in me. That could be kind of selfish, and I could see that if I have the discretionary funds and I'm consciously choosing to just invest it in myself and not, you know what I'm saying? I could see that particularly. It's almost like this is what I wanted, but you said fuck me. I had to get the shitty end of the stick so you could get your sneakers or your jewelry or whatever the case may be. I understand that. But if I ain't got it and I'm trying to make make ends meet, because we also trying to move, get a house, pay for a wedding, do a bunch of shit, like, we got to sacrifice somewhere, somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't think that should equate.
Val, Mr. L?
I don't think it should equate. The size of a ring should not equate to how much I actually feel for you, how somebody feels for you, how much you love you. That was the question, right? I just want to make sure I'm answering it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of like what Slim says, like priorities. Like, what are we doing right now? Where are we in life? Like, are we preparing to get a house? Are we preparing to do all these different things? You know what I mean? And it could be just because of that in itself that somebody might not be able to afford the type of ring that the individual wants, Plus, again, this individual could be really materialistic, which again, and then on top of that too, I don't know, man. I wish that people would not put so much emphasis on the size of a ring, and because the bigger the ring, that means that's how much he loves me. No, because he can get you a big ass ring. You guys are married, but he treats you like shit, and then afterwards you guys are divorcing and all that stuff. Try to learn those lessons that people may learn down the road now. Try to learn those now, so you can save yourself the heartbreak.
Yeah, sure. You have a big ring and be getting cheated on the whole time. Like, what do that
Absolutely.
mean? You flaunting like, oh look, you got me, but everybody he fucking your homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mr. L?
I'm sorry. Slim took it to this. He was like, he could be fucking your homegirl. I'm like that.
To him and shit, leaning with the
that's Slim Savage right there. Savage.
That is. So I agree with everything that y'all said. And another thing is, like, if you are looking at it as that, because most of the time, just from on the outside looking in, a lot of women will compare their rings. Like it's a thing amongst themselves, where like, oh well, you notice the ring over here is bigger. Well, nah, look what I got. I know that's not how it goes, but it's usually a thing within I guess married women, or however you want to identify
the competition.
Yeah, and that's also where, kind of like we talk about social media playing into the effect of relationships. That's kind of like that. So take out the social, or hell, it could be part of social media where like you want to show off your ring that you got, and you want to make sure people see how big it is, and instead of like, no, this ring, like I forgot, I learned one time, but I forgot why people started using diamond rings anyways for marriages, and like what does this have to do with our connection, our bond, our love? Like if you take that ring off, like not saying like we're divorcing or some shit like that, but like you take your ring off to get a shower, does that mean you love me less?
Right.
No. Does that mean I love you? No. Like that, it just doesn't. The whole materialistic thing of the ring it's got a hold on the community, and I need to be let go.
Historically, it was so men who were going off to war in order to show their intention. This is how they betrothed their women. They would give them a diamond ring more so as a promise ring that they were going to come back, and a promissory note to say that, when they come back, we're going to get married. That's how the giving of a diamond ring kind of came about, and then people went somewhere else with it. Me personally, I would rather you present me with a deed to some land than a 4 or 5 or 20 karat diamond ring. You know what I mean? Like, to me, rings are just kind of rings. I wear rings all the time. So having like a particular diamond ring, okay, well, that's great. And you spent $20,000, $30,000 on a ring. Deed me some land, please. Give me some, betroth me some stocks. You know what I mean? Give me some shit that actually has value, that's going to increase in worth over time, so that we have that together. Like a diamond ring is great, and it's fancy and pretty, and it's blingy and shiny. But like all of you said, it's really just for the outward appearance to say that, okay, me and you are hitched. You know what I mean? We're still hitched regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think sometimes when feelings and shit gets fucked up when the ring gets removed, because it's almost like a symbol of that me and you are connected. So for instance, if I come in and I see my wife comes in from a night out and her wedding ring is off, it's almost like,
she could have took that ring off and put that ring back on, and you wouldn't have known.
Exactly. Well, exactly right. But the fact that I do know about it now and I see it now, my mind may start to wonder, like, well, did you take that ring off because you were trying to, convey a certain message, or you trying to hide? You know what I mean? Were you trying to, you know what I mean? Because it's not. It's one thing you said from the beginning, no rings, because I'm just the
Right,
oldest natural person, and I don't believe it. That's from the on start. But for you
right.
to have it, wear it, and then you know depending on who you're around in certain situations, remove it is I could see how that could
Now
be
then,
problematic.
yes, that is, yeah.
That's problematic, absolutely. But then you have people who don't remove their rings and still do the bullshit that they're gonna
Oh yeah,
do
definitely.
regardless. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
my mom, she lost her wedding ring, and it was nothing more than she took it off. She had sanitized her hands and she was putting lotion on her hands and legitimately forgot to put it back on. Got out of the car, it dropped on the ground. She wasn't paying attention. She went to the supermarket. By the time she remembered or realized that she didn't have her ring on, when she went back out in the parking lot, it was gone. And this was, when I tell you this was a ring, it was three rings fused together. So it was her engagement ring, her wedding band full of diamonds, and then I think her 10-year anniversary ring or something like that. And when I tell you guys it was a ring. Like it was big, like Ross. Oh yeah, she cried for days. She cried for days. My dad was upset.
I
That's,
wasn't sure.
See, that's different, man. Cause
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know the thing about that ring note, there's so much sentimental value. You
absolutely.
know,
Hmm.
like if I lose
Absolutely.
a ring, like for example, like my ring, for example, has a lot of sentimental value because we went through a lot trying to
Yes,
get married and everything. And if I lose it, just like I'd be crying, I would honestly because of the
absolutely.
sentimental value. You know,
And that's what I'm
Definitely.
that's
saying. Wash
sad.
your hands with it on. Lotion your hands with it on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Sanitize your hands with it on. Don't take that shit off. Leave it right where
yeah.
it is. The
I work.
sanitizer and the soap is not going to ruin it or wreck the value of it.
I work in the
Hmm.
medical field. You know how many times I done came and I seen surgeons going through the scrub bucket because they
Looking for the
fucking wet.
ring.
They done took their wet because they doing surgery and took their wet ring off, threw it in their
Yes.
scrub,
Ooh.
changed their shit, in the locker room to go home for
Hmm.
the day, and they got to come back because
And forget that, yeah,
yeah,
forget that it's there.
I done threw watches out and everything like that before.
So
Damn.
I'm thinking, and there are maybe two situations. Not saying I'm gonna spend 20,000 unless I got it like that. Then
Right.
if money's not an issue, then sure, baby, I got you. But I mean, now if you're bringing it to me like, oh, you don't love me enough, because that's a different story. But I'm only
True.
two things, because like my mom loves rings, but not like, I know she would never. She would look at my dad crazy if he spent $20,000 on a ring for her, but she
Yes.
loves rings. So I'm like, okay, in a situation like that where I know if my woman just loves rings because that's her thing, like, some of us love sneakers, then that's different. I put a little bit more
Right.
to it. So that's one situation. Still won't be 20,000, but I wouldn't be mad stretching it out a little bit more. The second reason, way, is if we're going back to the olden days and your daddy paying for the wedding and it's extravagant,
You
your
know,
uncle
you
paying for the honeymoon, and we moving into your grandparents' house that's already paid for. Cool.
Right.
Let me get you whatever ring you want, baby.
Right.
I got you.
well, that's the type of shit I be on right there, yo.
Okay. So let me ask a different. If you had to choose between
Economical.
spending, okay. So let's say you're given $50,000. Okay, and you have to
Okay.
choose between spending the majority of the money on the ring versus the majority of the money on a honeymoon, or the majority of, or the other way around. What would you pick? Knowing your person, knowing that she likes flashy blingy, knowing that she wants a big expensive ring, but you have a choice to spend either the majority of the money on her ring or the majority of the money on a fantastic 2-week honeymoon. What would you pick?
Y'all remember that Cat Williams special where he had to sit down and have a real nigga conversation with his son about the shoes, where he could have got the $100 Jordans, but you could have got the little blink, the little light up shoes and the Batman shoes, and still have money to go spend on a video game? Baby, sit down. I need you to make a real nigga decision right now. All right, you can have this ring, or we gonna be over. I know you've been saying you want to visit here. If it's me personally, I'm 50K. I'm putting it would probably be 20 going to the ring and 30 to the honeymoon. Or do we have to like add? Are
Yeah,
we
the
splitting it up?
majority has to be on one or the other. You can't do a
The
close to
majority is
even
going.
split.
The majority is going on the honeymoon. The
I'm
majority
different.
is
I'm
going on the honeymoon.
on the ring, baby. Only because gold gains some value over time, man. You'll never know. You got to flip that bitch.
Who
So
told you that? Diamond
You don't know.
engagement rings don't appreciate over time. They will
Everybody
scam you
got
every
rings,
time, and you will
dog.
never get
Everybody
the
got
value of that
rings.
ring.
You know how many people out here married with rings?
I don't know,
Can you
man.
tell
What
him,
kind of
please?
value does it have?
I don't know,
Because
hey,
apparently
yo.
people about to
Shit.
be making bank. But you know
I
what?
take the
Time is of
cat.
the essence. You don't really have a lot of. You never know how much time you're gonna have with it, or even if you're gonna be able to use it.
Yeah.
We're like, yo, let's build these experiences and these memories real quick. Not
Absolutely.
saying,
Because at least if you do a honeymoon, I could benefit off it too. You know what I'm saying? With the ring, I can just
man,
watch you look fly with it and shit. You know what I mean? My hand hot than a motherfucker.
Val, what about you? If you could only pick one, spend the majority of the money on a ring or the vacation, which the honeymoon, 2 weeks wherever in the world, you can hop, skip, and jump islands, whatever it is that you want to do. If you had to choose, which one would you pick?
Okay, so I would honestly choose. Which one do you think that I would choose, guys? Which one do you think I'd choose?
The
I'd say
honeymoon.
the honeymoon.
if you knew that your woman really wanted a flashy ring, I think you're going with the ring. But
Really?
now, if you know it sits down here, they're royalty, then you go with the honeymoon because you know that's your wife. But if she was more of a flashy thing, I would say that you would go with the ring because you want to cater to your boo's wants,
Okay,
and you wouldn't be being
okay,
selfish by just going with the honeymoon.
So, yeah, so now let's roll it
I like
back.
that.
Let's
Okay,
roll it back. You and a day of royalty are on the verge of getting married. You haven't gotten married yet. And the choice
okay,
is that you can either buy her a super flashy ring and do like, a red roof motel for a weekend, and that's your honeymoon.
Not
Or
even
you
at
can
Myrtle
spend,
Beach.
right?
Sheesh.
We say that.
Or
We
you
say
can
that
spend
every
the
time.
majority of the money on a fantastic honeymoon for 3 weeks anywhere in the world, multiple stops if you want, and get her, a decent ring, $5,000. Which one? Roll it back. You guys haven't gotten married yet. Which one would you pick?
So hold on before you answer that, AJ, because you did. I think you did asking the question like if you knew that she wanted a flashy ring, right?
Uh-huh.
So are you throwing that
mm,
in this equation
mm.
as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If I knew that she wanted a flashy ring, damn. Okay,
Mhm.
if I knew,
Tech
I hate
time,
that y'all
Val.
added
You
that.
got to
I
go to
hate
sleep
that.
tonight, eh? Just remember that.
I might get smothered
And
with
we
a
don't
pillow.
we don't live there. I'm in a whole other continent, so we can't protect you. Just remember your answer, please, sir.
Nah, my person, even if she loves rings and all that stuff, she's going to like experiences. I would go with the trip. I'd go with the honeymoon.
Fuck you, what you want, right?
We'd make the experience. She would
Get the
Right.
love where
ring
we
later.
go. You'll get the ring. You're still gonna love the ring. You're gonna love the sentimental value behind the ring. But we're gonna have all these experiences that we can talk about.
I can take it.
I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. I don't know if it's gonna time us out. Hold on, let me just check because Instagram has been on some bullshit lately. So if it times us out, we'll come back to the question. If not, I'm just gonna start the run of the question now. So I was asked by someone, and I could have given my answer, but I would like input from the gentleman. Um, Building and developing a long distance relationship. How do you develop a successful long distance relationship? And can you remain in a long distance relationship, or does someone have to move at some point in time?
Ooh, that's so
I'm a
funny. Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna go
Zach.
ahead and jump in this one because I don't have too much experience with successful long distance relationships, so
It's
I
not
can
even
only
it's
say
it's
what's in
not
it.
even if you have personal experience. It's just
Okay.
what you
Mm.
think would help
So
a long distance relationship succeed, or is that even possible?
constant communication, of course. I need to see you at twice a month. I
Okay.
would say twice a month. Either I come to you or you coming to me or both. Whatever. I need to see you at least twice a month for 3 days. Each trip. 3 days each trip. Um, and then eventually, yes, somebody's gonna have to move. Y'all know me, I'm a physical touch person, you know? So after a while, I'm like, yo, I want you here. Or I'll need to be there with you. I want us to be together. So somebody is eventually gonna have to move. I think that would maybe I can't put a number on it, but if I had to, I would say shit like after 8 months, 6 to 8 months, somewhere around there, because I can't go a
Really?
year without like yeah, because there are so many. Actually, yeah, yes, 6 to 8 months because you can do. I could do it. It'd be rough, but like yes, we would still be seeing each other twice a month, 6 days out of the month. But then I'm gonna be wanting you around more. You know, I want to be able to have access to you, and you have access to me, and that we're able to do things. Like if I need you on a random ass Wednesday, and you know, I can just be like, baby, I'm coming over. I need to holler at you. I just need to be in your presence. You know, it's not gonna hit the same if we sitting over here on FaceTime. Like, yeah, it's cute and all. Like, thank you for spending the time with me. It feels nice, but I need your presence. I can't feel that presence through a phone.
Okay. Who, I don't know if I should give it to Val next because Val, like your wheels are just turning.
Slim,
Come
Slim,
now.
Slim sounded like he had something good to say, so let's
Yeah,
let's
go
go
ahead,
with
Slim.
Val.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Slim.
Saying like this is just funny. Life is fucking funny. Um, I don't. I've never thought I was the type of person to really do a long distance. I know I'm the type of person I can't do a long distance relationship for a long amount of time. It's something that I would never just. I wouldn't even in the past. I would have never considered it only because, like Mr. L said, I know me, the type of person I am, and I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about Mr. L, and you just gave me a whole game plan and strategy to do some shit, Mr. L, with what you just said.
Am I
Do
buffering?
Yeah, you are buffering. Yeah,
Okay. We're back
I'm
now.
not. I'm not sure if I could do 6 days a month. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on the distance, you know what I mean. Then I'm gonna start thinking like, damn, the amount of money I'm spending just to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Traveling. You know, unfortunately, 3 days ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm the type of person, even if we would, like Mr. L said, I would have to maintain constant communication at that point, I feel like. And I don't want to be annoying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person where I always got shit to say on FaceTime or on the phone either. So I don't
Pull
want
up,
to sit
pull up
beside,
on me.
just, yeah, taking up time. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like we said before, I'm good with just being in your space and not saying a fucking word. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of hard to do on FaceTime, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it may be get perceived as if you don't care or as if, you know, you ain't got shit to say. And it's not that. I'm just chilling in the moment. So, you know,
Okay, so
and
let me do what I do. Let me throw something in there for you.
go ahead.
So you're in a relationship with someone who's in the same city as you, but because of your work schedules, you are only able to see each other 6 days out of the month. And your communication primarily still has to be through FaceTime, text messages, video chat, and all that kind of stuff.
That's
Then
different
more
for me.
than likely, so even with
That,
that, so one is going to be accessibility still. Like I know you're there. If something did pop up, I can still get to you.
Okay.
Two, if we're going that route and we're in that city, and then we probably not going to be dating too much longer then.
Okay.
Because like I would still need the same thing. Like I said, eventually, you know, somebody gonna have to move. Eventually, something's gonna have to shake with our schedules, our job, or whatever, so that way we can spend
Mhm.
some more time. I'm not saying you quit your job or take days off, but like if we're not seeing each other that often, you know, how are we really building too much of a connection? I
Right.
guess.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So let me Val, I'm gonna get to you one second. Okay, so let me put another scenario in. So you said 6 days, which means that okay, so how much vacation time do people get? Because I work for myself, so I have vacation time all the time. How much vacation time do people typically get at their job? 3 weeks?
I mean, it depends on the type of job you got. I get 3 weeks, then I get like mental health days,
Okay.
administrative days.
So so let's say it's 3 weeks. Okay. So 3 weeks is 15 to 21 days, depending on if you're writing in weekends and stuff like that. If you were able to see that person every weekend, either between your schedule and their schedule, where you went to them for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and alternating weekends, they use their vacation time to come to you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they didn't want to move, would you still stay in that long distance relationship?
No, I would not, because even if we in the same city, like the situation you proposed prior, I would still at some point have to cohabitate or expect to be with you. You know what I'm saying? Even if we're in the same city. So the fact that we're on the weekends, no, because I don't want to have to look for the weekend. I don't want to have visitation with my woman. I'll say that. I don't want to have.
But you're working Monday to Friday, where your schedule doesn't permit you to do anything else other than see her on the weekends. Then what?
Are we living in the same city? We live in.
You're living in the same city, but you're limited to seeing each other on the weekends because of your job.
No, because like I said, I'm with Mr. L due to the accessibility.
You still say no?
Yeah, I was still saying no, because the fact that I know that we're in the city, and I know if I want to take a day off one day, or call in sick, or take a mental health day, and we're in the same city, I can still have access to you or plan around it. If you're in another state, I can take off all day. I'm not going to go to another state for a day. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're in like New York or something very close to me. Short of that, you know what I'm saying? Nah. I would need.
Val, your face it's stressing me out, man. Seriously. The expressions on your face, like you just went through a whole series. Come, Val, come speak your mind.
Okay. Am I answering the second question or the first one?
Both.
Both. Okay. Okay. So I think that type of situation, I'm working throughout the week. I could only see her on the weekends. I think for a little bit of time that can absolutely work. I would want to be able to speak to this individual about how they feel about it, get to see like what are their thoughts on it, if they're okay with it, if they don't mind it, kind of thing, and ask for their honesty, because some people don't like it. If you don't like it, it's totally fine. That's not you, cool. But other people, they're at least willing to try it out, or they'll just be honest and say, no, I can't do it. Respect that. Now, I would definitely try it. We'd see what's going on. We would make an effort back and forth, because this is the type of person that I'm going to be going after, somebody who would make that effort, and see how it works. And then after that, I would want to try to have some kind of different circumstance with us. Like, granted, you're still in the city with me. That's great. But it's like, I would be more intentional about seeing them. We would plan dates. It could be maybe after work, for example, even if it's late, something to that effect. If there's effort on both sides and both people are actually truly okay with the situation, knowing that it's going to get better, I would give it a shot. I would. But if only if the individual is being open, honest. If they're lying about it, obviously it's not going to work. If they're not being intentional, if they're not putting in that effort, obviously that's a big red flag. No.
So how do you know that the situation will get better?
Good question.
I would say that the situation would get better, assuming that the job that I would have in the situation, right? It wouldn't be my end all be all, like we're thinking about bigger and better, especially when it comes, like AJ just said it, like she works for herself. She has her own vacation days. You know what I mean? So if you're working up to something like that, like I am, I'm going to have all of this time, you know what I mean?
Right.
And again, in talking to my person and seeing how they are, I would hope that they are the same way, like trying to work towards something greater where they can have those, Slim said it before, like mental health days. Those are golden. I actually took one today, actually. So it's like, you got to do what you got to do.
Me too.
Good for you guys.
Yeah. So if we're working to be greater and have those things for ourselves, working for ourselves or working for somebody else, doesn't matter, but you still have that time, then I would consider that to be a better situation, as opposed to always having to constantly deal with the weekends is the main time that I can see you.
Yeah. And then another thing too, I want to say, just like, I believe in, coming up when, like, Mr. You said, how do you know it's going to get better? You don't really know, because you don't know anything really. Like, far as the
That's fair to
future.
say.
But what I do know is that if I come to you with a plan, with a concise plan, you know what I'm saying, that has time frames and everything, and I'm letting you know, listen, this is the goal, and we're not deviating from this goal, so we could reach, like Val said, that next level. Then sometimes, baby, you got to eat that, especially if you want that fucking $20,000 ring or that
Right.
vacation, that thing. Like, it got to sacrifice, especially as a man. Like, you're not thinking of everything that encompasses that has to go along with gaining those things. You know what I'm saying? For instance, tonight I'm
Right.
about to start a whole second job overnight, full time, 2 full-time jobs on top of school. But and
So you have
whoever
a
I'm dating,
goal.
yeah, but whoever I'm dating needs to understand that number one, it's not temporary. I mean, excuse me, it's only temporary, I should
Right.
say. It's not my end all be all. There's a end time frame on it, and I'm doing it to gain enough funds so I can do certain things coming up for next summer if I'm trying to plan ahead. So, but
Okay.
if somebody does not understand that, my significant other specifically, and oh well, you know, you dedicate too much time to your career, or you're not around enough, or I don't see you. You could get that off if I'm up there, if I'm out here partying, I'm out here shaking my ass, I'm out here drinking, I'm out here, you know, living that lifestyle. But if I'm out here getting money, you know what I'm saying, do what we got to do the legal way, the right way to obtain these things, you can't knock that. And you shouldn't knock that as my significant other.
So then
So
in that situation, then wouldn't a long distance relationship be more ideal for you so that you don't have that stress?
It will, but I start to think of how much am I really contributing to my relationship at that point. You know what I'm saying? If
Ooh.
it's, I mean, if I'm more focused on work and everything else, I'm not really giving you time of day. We're more so just companions at that point. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know what I mean? We're not really. I'm a horn dog. I need, like Mr. Elsa, I need to be able to have access to you. I need, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say I'm gonna get the desiring itch and go fuck somebody else, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I just, you know, who
right.
wants to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? So.
So there's a movie, and I can't think of it. Like I've been sitting here for the past 5 to 8 minutes trying to think of it, and I think that like the husband and wife or whatever they were, he was like trying to build something basically, you know, like you were saying, and like the wife was having issues with it, and I forgot who he was talking to, but the guy was just like, all right, you know, so when is the end goal? Like, can you tell her when it is? Can you give her
Yes.
a specific date when it is? And if you can't, then is it fair to her that you see this and it's going this way, but you can't give her that end goal if she's like trying to hold on type deal? Anybody know what movie or show I'm talking about? If anybody does, please help me out because it's gonna
Um,
be on my mind until I get that shit. But
You're gonna have to
I'm a
Google
like,
that.
I'm a movie head too, but that don't sound like sounds very general. Yeah.
Give
I
me the
hate when that
details again.
happens.
Let me see if I
Yeah.
can Google it for you.
we can come back to it because I know we only got like
Okay.
roughly like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say something else. You just kind of like
Oh
abruptly
no.
altered.
I think that is just it also depends on who your partner is and like okay, are you willing to sacrifice maybe even if they're just like, hey, you know, a day every now and then. Just take off an extra day. Are you willing to do that? My dad, he works a lot. I mean like 7 days out of the week sometimes. But if my mom's like, hey, honey, I just want you to take off a day. If he has a day because
Then
he
he
has
does
so
that.
many, yeah, then he will do it. You know, like, okay, you know, let me cater to my baby's needs. I know I'm out here making sure we're good, but you know, I also
So
need to make sure she's good emotionally as well.
before we go, because I know that we have to leave it at 10:30 for Slim, and it's 3 fucking almost 30 in the morning here. I love you guys dearly. What would be, and Val, you have to be in the mind frame of not being married, but you're in a relationship. What would be, you love the person, it's been a year that you've been doing the long distance relationship, you're very consistent, you have a schedule worked out where, you know, you're on a clear rotation where you're there, she's with you, but she doesn't want to move or he doesn't want to move. What is the breaking point at which you would say, you know what, I can't go forward with this? Or do you say, let me try for another year and see how it goes to try to convince the person? What would be your breaking point to say that I can no longer go forward in this long distance relationship?
Woo. Hey Jay.
Val, Val, come now. How much time has it been? You know me.
My goodness.
This is what I do. I got to give you guys the sexy questions. What would be your breaking? You love her, she loves you, you have a great relationship. The distance is the issue because you want her to move and she's not comfortable doing that. She likes the way that, and there's nothing going on. You are confident that you're her only. There's nothing extra, like you don't have any concerns or fears. She just likes where she lives. It's close to her family, whatever the circumstances are. But what is your
I
breaking
got
point?
you. So I'll take this one. So give y'all some time to think. And somebody also put it in check. One of them
As
is
soon as you know neither of us
when
are willing to relocate. Oh, hold on, let me
yep.
pin that.
I agree.
Because
Okay.
and I've had this issue in the past with a couple women who I've tried long distance things with, and it's just like to me, family is a big thing. I like being near my family. So I have younger siblings who are young, and I still want to see other siblings grow up. So I don't want to go too far away from them. I can go out of state, but I don't want to go too far away from them where I can't
Right.
get to them and spend time with them. And I can respect a woman if
What?
that's the same way
Hello,
that she
Slim.
feels.
Sorry. I just saw Slim's whole esophagus from the yawn. I was distracted. I apologize, Mr. L.
Apologize.
So yeah. If we can't come to some type of compromise, if we can't come to some type of compromise when it comes to moving, like, hey, all right,
Yeah.
let's move to somewhere where we're not too far from yours and we're not too far from mine, and it works out, like as far as job wise goes, because like relocating, more than likely, if you're not working from home or even if you have your own business that's stationed in a certain state, then it's going to be difficult for you to just pick up and leave your business, or you're either going to have to find a new job in that area as well. So when all bets are off the table and she's like, yo, either you move because I'm not moving, then this isn't going to work. And I'm like, okay, you're not willing to compromise, see what other options we have. This isn't just going to work.
That makes me sad.
I definitely I agree. I feel like, once we get to that point, I'm not sure who put the post that you pinned, but that's pretty much it. We only got 3 options. Either you're going to move to me, I'm going to move to you,
Right.
or we're going to meet in the middle. That's it.
That's an interesting one. Okay.
And
Yeah, I'm cool with meeting in the middle.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're not willing to move out here, you're not willing to move out, meet me in the middle, then unfortunately, yeah, we have to dissolve the relationship. We remain friends and everything, but you just have to dissolve it, and it would hurt. But what are we gonna do here? Now at this point, we're wasting time. I feel like
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
my answer is impacted from what Slim just said. It definitely changed it. Just the fact that you said me in the middle. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I think that's real. Especially if what Mr. L said, like if we are family oriented,
Yes.
we don't want to be so far from family, So trying to like me in the middle, if both people are okay with that, then I think that's a great idea, honestly. But if it's a thing where they're just like, no, you gotta come to me kind of thing, then it's like what AJ said. Like it's one of those sad situations where honestly, the relationship is great. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just this one thing that comes to a head right here. Like you kind of sort of have to make that decision. It's this person that you really love and you want to be with versus yourself. And when it always comes down to that, I always say that you need to choose yourself, honestly, even though you're gonna have to deal with the heartbreak.
Yeah.
But you guys can still be friends if you're the type of individual that can still be friends with, somebody that you love and things like that. But yeah, no, that's sad. But I would hope that it comes to what Slim said, meeting in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah,
No,
unless
the only time
the breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? If I'm working for Google out in Cali and I'm making, $250,000 a year, as an IT tech or something, and you live in New York, you know what I'm saying, and you making $50,000 a year, yeah, sweetheart. That would change the whole meeting in the middle thing, because I'd be like, yo, baby, like, you're really not going to come out. I got everything. I send you back to New York every Friday. That's the case. You know what I mean? If you want to go see your family. But, economically at this point, and, like Mr. L said, real nigga decision would mean bring your ass out to Cali, because we square out here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now, I will say, I have seen situations even recently with some friends who, uh, she was living in Cali, met a boyfriend, now fiance out there, but like she wanted to be back with her mom because family situations and things. And what does he do? He finds something out here because he's like, yo, all right, I'm with it. They had some kind of conversation, and he's just like, yo,
I
he
like
could
that.
find a job out here, something that he could do, and he was willing to do that. Because I was just about to say, like, it ain't no meeting in the middle if I'm in North Carolina and you in Cali. Like, what the fuck we gonna be
Yeah,
like
there's no
Wyoming or
there's no
some
middle
shit? I don't
ground.
even know what's in the middle. Like, no. If that's the case, then one of the other is gonna have to move there.
Right.
Because one thing you're not gonna do is have me stuck in the Midwest of the United States of America.
I just say that way you're not too close to your family. She not sacrificing her family, and because sometimes, based on my experience, I know that when that does happen, sometimes a person, I would say a female, but a person will be like, "Well, I left my family to be around your family." You know
Yes.
what And
Yes.
this, if you go over there, you may feel the same thing. Well, I left my family, now I'm all embedded in your family. If you meet in the middle, ain't nobody got no family around, and
It's
everybody's
just the two of you.
and it's an equal distance away to get to each party. If
Yes.
you
Yep.
meet in the middle, you know what I'm saying? But I understand about the fear of Midwest. I get that too.
I
Okay.
think either way that it goes, honestly, like somebody somehow, somewhere, there's always that possibility of somebody building that resentment.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you moved me away from my family.
yeah, definitely.
Even if we move in the middle, like you guys said, uh, yeah, it's a complicated thing, man.
It is. Okay, well, we are going to wrap up our discussion. Gentlemen, as always, I appreciate you. Kings with Kiki said the Midwest is hell. Do not move to the Midwest. I think that's the recommendation. Do not move. That's a whole other conversation, and she's absolutely right. We'll just leave it at that. But, gentlemen,
Damn.
please let everybody know, of course, again, who you are, where they can find you, how they can follow you, anything that you have coming up, new episodes, new IGTV series, whatever it is, where they can find you, how they can get to you, and all that good stuff.
All right, I am Slim State Scheming, formerly known as Slim the Savage, now known
You're
as the
still a
Junior.
savage. I don't know why you keep saying
Still a
formally.
savage. I know, right? Still a savage.
Right? Like that's going to change
Don't
something. Huh,
don't
sir?
lie to these people, Slim.
Don't ask,
Don't
no question. Uh, thank you for everybody for joining. We much appreciate it. Thank you for all the followers, who are the dedicated followers, all the new followers. We appreciate it. Go check our page, Three Guys and a Girl. Go check my other podcasts that I represent, 973 Vibes on YouTube, Spotify, Audible, all streaming platforms. AJ, get some sleep. Val, Mr. L.
Oh, y'all didn't hear that deep voice that was back behind the camera earlier. So
Hi.
some
We're not
sleep
going to talk
going
about that
on.
then.
Nah, I missed
Y'all
that
ain't catch
one. I
that.
missed that one. And y'all love putting me on Front Street when I got somebody in my background, but different
That's the only
story.
reason why I did it. I said, yo, I
That
gotta,
was so long ago. That was like an hour and a half ago. Nobody's talking about that. Look how long ago
he
that
sleep.
was. Stop
I
it.
bet he ain't sleep though. He said, "Get your baby up and be done, baby."
Oh, I
Something in my
love you
ass right
guys,
there.
honestly.
There's something in my ass. Go ahead, man.
I'm echoing Slim here. Thank you, everybody who joined in. Thank you, everyone in the comments. You guys, again, I keep saying it every single live. You guys make it live. You guys make it lit. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Val, dating_Gen YZ, dating for millennials and Gen Z. What I aim to do is to help you guys cultivate the healthy dating and relationship lives that you all deserve. Like I said at the beginning, I do sessions. So if you guys are interested in sessions, singles, couples, whatever it is, and you want to ask questions, hit me up. I answer all DMs. And again, please follow our page, Three Guys and a Girl.
Yes.
Really appreciate all the love that you guys give us. Have a great night, everybody.
Go tell a friend.
Go tell a friend. Go
Tell
tell a
them to
friend.
tell a friend.
Yes.
So first
You
and
forgot who you
foremost,
are?
no. I had a lot going on in my mind that I wanted to say real quick because we got like 6 minutes roughly.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, to AJ, the host, the Badass Jones. Shout out to
Why
you
do
for
you guys keep
bringing
saying
that
that? I'm not
positivity.
the host. This is all of us.
No, because
The
It
you
architect.
specifically
The
is.
say
architect. There you go.
I'll
specifically
be the
say
architect. I'll be
you
Charlie.
specifically
I like that.
say
I'm Charlie.
I was gonna go there.
Charlie,
Yep,
I like that too.
that is our Charlie. We are the angels.
Every
Or
time you
demons, whichever one you want to go with, Charlie.
I like the
But either
demons.
way, uh, thank you for orchestrating all this to the fellas. I appreciate you guys. In and out of this three guys and a girl thing, because y'all, this does go beyond just what we do here on Instagram Live. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who jumped in and who was giving some feedback. It was definitely a great conversation, and we couldn't have it without y'all. Real quick, just want to say, hey guys, take care of yourselves, please. I always say it in my podcast, but mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, it's getting colder out. Seasonal depression is a thing. So please take care of yourself and really be gentle with yourself. But now I am the host of From the Mind of Mr. L podcast, where we talk about sex life, kinks, everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can find me on Instagram at From the Mind of Mr. L. Twitter, From the Mind of Mr. L. Just take the O out. My email is from the mind of Mr. L at gmail.com. Just dropped. I have so far 3 episodes for the month of October. It's Kinktober. It's National Kink Month. So go out, reach out, listen to some of the episodes. We talk about a lot of different kinks so far, A through E, kinks that begin with those letters. And you can find out some things that you might be interested in, or things that you might not have known were kinks that you're already interested in. It's dope to educate yourself. But yes, you can come listen or come while you listen. But as always, I am the sincere say this, compassionate Dom, the Southern gent with a sprinkle of filth, Mr. L. Follow 3 guys and a girl. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Come check us out.
Absolutely. So, you know me, AJ. I love and appreciate you guys. As I said at the beginning, I am out in the people's UK, London, England. It is 3:30 in the morning here. You have to know how much I love you guys, and this is my dedication to this and to what we do, and to everyone who listens to us, everyone who follows us, everyone who has tuned in, who has shared, who has contributed, and all that good stuff. Another great discussion, gentlemen. Thank you, as always, for being so open and for being forthcoming and for being giving and generous of yourselves and of your time, your energy, your knowledge, your wisdom, and all that good stuff. To everybody in the live who has stayed, who has come, who has gone, who has come back, everyone who participates on regular, everyone who shares personal bits about themselves, because really and truly, so specifically to the people in the chat, we know that you don't have to, but we love and appreciate you for all the things that you share personally with us and with everybody else that's in the live and in the chat. You make what we do worth doing what we do. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. My guys, I love y'all. And we're going to have a personal conversation after this. And yes, I'll explain who was in the background. Leave me alone. Thanks. Yes. I'm going to bed. I bid you all a very good night and a good morning. Like Val says, good morning, good night, good evening where you are. Definitely got a good morning. But yeah, we'll catch up with you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to have to figure out how to do this a little bit more frequently, because this is nice. I feel like 2 weeks is not enough now. We start off at 2 weeks, but we'll work something out.
I think we should be due for like a Q&A segment again. I think that would be. We should do that.
Yeah.
I think the Q&A segment.
So the next one, I got you. I got you. We'll do a Q&A on the next one. We'll put up something where people want to ask questions, and we'll collect those. But I still have questions from when we did the last one. We didn't get through all of them, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. People like to learn some shit about us.
Today.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so that'll be the next go round. We'll do a Q&A on the next one. A full episode, and we'll do some fuck, marry, kills, because we like those ones. You guys' answers are real interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, y'all
we might have one for you.
Get some sleep.
Yes. Yes, you gotta go.
My brother.
Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye. Thank you. On behalf of myself and my guys, Slim Stay Scheming, Val from Dating Gen YZ, and From the Mind of Mr. L, thank you all for joining us for 3 Guys and a Girl, our bi-weekly live podcast. Please make sure that you follow our homepage, which is 3 Guys and a Girl. We're still building our following. Everyone who has followed us and everyone who supports, we entirely appreciate you. It's early in the morning and I am going to my bed. I hope that you all rest well, and we'll talk to you later.